So there's also an online version of this course. So this course is going to be video recorded, and I just kicked off the video recording there now. 3, 2, 1, and we're live. So the online students will be able to watch the same presentations that we make here in the classroom. So not so bad. So Business 241, Management Information Systems, and what we'll look at today then, as far as an agenda goes, is we'll go through the course outline, give you some idea of what the course is going to be about, how much work's involved, or I should say how little work's involved, and how you're all going to pass with flying colors, and everybody's going to come to class with great ideas, and we're going to learn all kinds about new technologies, and you'll be that much more prepared for your other courses. And part of the reason why 241 is required is for that reason, because you're going to be using, and you've probably already, most of your second year students have already been using a lot of technology in your other courses. So hopefully this will just help you that much more in using the technology to make your life easier. So my name's Brian Murray, and I'm your instructor for this course, and my contact information is right there at the top of the Moodle page. And that's something I should talk about right off the bat. Moodle. Moodle is our friend. We use Moodle for everything, and I mean everything. All assignments, all tests, everything that we're going to be doing. And there's no handouts, paper handouts. I didn't come prepared to pass any paper out today, because you just lose that paper, right? And so the best plan of attack is to use Moodle for all of our material. And that way assignments don't come in big stacks on the desk, and paper is just hell to deal with. So we're going to keep it all electronic. Now you probably hit that in some of your other courses, but you'll find this course is going to be different in that way, because it's a technology course and we're going to use the technology. We're going to go outside of Moodle as well. We're going to use your Google account, because every one of you in here have a UPEI Google account. So we're going to use that in strange and different ways. So you probably never used it before. You probably all use Gmail. Yeah, who didn't, right? Google search, of course. But we're going to use your Google account to actually store data through an application that you're going to develop. Yeah, you're actually going to develop software. And that's why you need your Google account. So it's going to be different. Yeah, so that's the general overview of the course. And the way I set up the Moodle page is that all of the important stuff that we need for the entire course is all up here at the top. So before we get into a week, I'll show you what a typical week looks like. We go down here to the week of September 7th to 13th. You see that during that week, we're covering 2 chapters. That'll be next week. They're pretty basic chapters in relating technology to business. And so we'll spend all of next week talking about that. But this stuff that we're looking at today comes before, and it will always be here at the top of the page. And I'll add to that, if there's anything that we need to all be aware of, it'll be right at the top of the page. So the email that I blasted out to you a couple days ago and today came through the news form. So if you haven't been reading your UPEI email, you probably didn't get that email. But I sent out 2 email messages to you, one on Tuesday, September 2nd, and one on Thursday, September 4th. So those 2 email messages went out to you, and they go automatically to your UPEI email account, because that's the one that is registered with Moodle, right? Now you can go ahead and change that if you want. You can go into Moodle and change your email address if you don't like UPI email address. Or you can just, simply forward your email from your UPI account to your Gmail account or Hotmail, or whatever you use. So choice is up to you for sure. But it is critical that you check back on this page and check the news form, make sure that nothing's changed, because that's where all of the class announcements will be coming through. Okay, so let's start right from the top then. The link to the website for the textbook. Now that's the textbook there, and it is pricey because it's a hardcover book. But we'll show you in a minute how you can knock almost half off that price. It's $172.10, or it's around that $172.10 mark at the bookstore as well. So that is if you want a hard copy. Now it's a different book from what we've used in the last 3 years. We used this book about 4 years ago, and it has been revised twice since that. So it probably looks nothing like the old 4th edition that we used to use, because this is the 7th edition. Really, you do. It's not like English. It's not like history. Those courses don't change that often. Technology changes. Like this book was probably put together 12 months ago. I'm pretty sure it was. And then think of all the changes in technology over the last year. Oh my God. So this is the most up-to-date book that we could find. And I've used it before, and I know it's a good book. So we do have to kind of live with that fact. Now, the textbook in ebook format is here. And you can see that the price drastically drops to $65.55. Now the catch is that it's a rental for 180 days, but the 180 days is enough time to get you through this course, and your subscription period will be up by that time. So not a bad deal. And it reads just like the regular book, full color, full page. You can go full screen with it. You can highlight. You can make notes in the margin. You can do all that stuff. I think you can even get it to read to you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that you can highlight a paragraph and it will read it back to you. But it's in a very monotone voice, right? Just like me, you're saying, right? I know. Every time I get student assessments back, it's like, oh, great class, but monotone voice, put me to sleep. So I'll try to change my voice every now and then so you won't fall asleep. But it's hard to do, as you know. The other thing that's great about the textbook is that unlike some of your other textbooks where you bought the textbook and now they want $50 to get the stuff online, right? This one, forget about that. All of the stuff online is free. So you click on this link, you go to the chapter you want, and you've got a review, you've got a chapter quiz that you can take. You have a glossary of terms in flashcard format. You have the PowerPoint presentation. You have the data files that you'll need for any end of chapter work. There's also teamwork projects and learning track modules. We'll talk about these learning tracks as they come up. There's one that we're going to talk about today. And there's also videos that go with the cases. So all of that is just a click away. You don't need a username, password. You don't have to pay anything. It's just right there, companion website for the textbook. So that's good. Now, the free continues, or almost free, low price. Microsoft Office. So if you don't have Microsoft Office and you do want to pick it up, especially the latest version. This is Office 2013, or what you call Office 365, for the low price of $79. Now, this isn't a home version. This is not the version they sell at Future Shop and Staples. You'll find that this is more encompassing. It has a lot more to it. It's the University Edition. And with the University Edition, you get all of the tools. And if you go down here, you'll see a list of what's included. So Word, Excel, OneNote, PowerPoint, Outlook, Access, Publisher, and that's the big one right there, Access. Because with the home version and personal version and the boiled down version, whatever you want to call it, they usually don't include the database. But we need that. We're going to be doing some work in Access. So if you're in the market and you don't have to buy it, I'm not saying that you have to buy it. If you already have Office on your computer and you don't have Access, the database, don't worry about it. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy this, because you can do the work you need to do in Access in the computer lab at the library. We're going to have two assignments in database. So, that doesn't create a real big need for the software. It's kind of a nice to have, let's put it that way. So nice to have, if you're going to upgrade your Office anyway. Oh, look at this. Got somebody talking to us. Let's talk. Hello. How are you? Question mark. Now that doesn't look like Marvin, right? She says her name is Marvin. I think she's lying. Marvin's probably a 59-year-old sitting in his basement in Jersey.
Marvin kind of looks anywhere these days.
Getting creeped out already here. Good, how are you? Nice picture. Marvin. There we go. Isn't technology great? Probably serving like 4 other people besides me. He's saying, oh shit, I forgot to change my picture. This guy's right on top of it. Yeah. See what he comes back with here now. He's thinking, right? He's thinking. He's got no answer for that one. Come on, Marvin, come back to us.
No.
Oh well, while we're waiting for Marvin. Yeah, I can't stress the point enough that don't feel like you have to go out and spend $79 on a piece of software that you're going to use twice. So, but if you're going to upgrade your Office anyway, the $79 is well worth it. Because then you'll get 2013 and you'll have all of the most up-to-date tools. Huh. Doesn't want to talk about his picture. Okay, Marvin. See ya. Yeah. Yeah. So I can't stress that enough that you do, and I know that budgets are tight and things like that. So don't run out and buy that $79 version unless you're going to upgrade anyway. So what else do we have here? Well, we have the technology news, and technology news is good because we'll we'll probably be talking about some of these topics in class. I also subscribe to the email version of this. This is IT World Canada. And, we get the technology news that everybody else in the world gets, but we also, kind of get the Canadian version of it, which is good. And I can say the same thing about our book. One of the big things about adopting this book was that it was Canadian applications were done by a professor out west, and she brings that that Canadian flair to it. So it's good to see that. And I reviewed this book about it was about a year ago now. And some of my suggestion was to use more of the online tools like Google to do more student assignments in that space. So it's good to see that they listen to suggestions and they put in what we asked for, so that's good. So I also have some other creative pieces of software here that you may find useful, maybe in this course or some of your other courses. But this is just kind of a shopping list of things that, and I've tried some of these and they're pretty good. Things that you might not hear about, like gap finder, statistical analysis, Confolio, store files, links, and ideas, SiteUlike, easily store references, those types of things. Some really good apps there that you could use for this course and your other courses as well. So this is just kind of a top 10 list that came out through Faculty Focus, which is a newsletter that I've subscribed to as well. So I put that there, and of course I have a link to the Robertson Library, and that's the business kind of section of the library, so that's there too. Okay, so on with the course introduction. Starting off with, of course, the important dates for this term. Now, things like these are handy, right? Because we need to watch out for certain dates, especially course changes and things like that. So we do have to be mindful of that. So this gives you all the important dates, and this is right off the registrar's website. And it's hard to believe that November 28th is the final day of classes. Boy, to go by quick. And also Monday, November 10th, and Tuesday, November 11th. Well, November 11th is statutory holiday, but here at the university, we also take an extra day, and that's kind of like a mini fall break, right? So you get the weekend, then you get Monday, Tuesday. It's pretty good. So, that's just a little link to the calendar, so you'll know what dates are important. Good. Okay, so let's get into the course outline then. We'll have a look and see what's up with this course. Okay, the first thing that we see in the course outline, it may surprise you, and a lot of you probably signed up for Business 241 saying, "Wow, this is going to be easy," because I grew up with technology, and I've used social media for the last 10 years, and I have a computer strapped to my arm, and I'm with it, right? And you're the only generation that can say that. You're the only generation that grew up with social media. So good on you, right? And then you're looking at me and saying, he must be, I'd say early 50s, late 50s. No, he's probably 60. He doesn't know technology, right? That's what you're saying about me. And that's fair ball, right? I didn't grow up with technology. But I spent the last 30 years probably learning about it and teaching it. So, yeah, I've been keeping up fairly good. So, here we are, right? old generation meets new generation. And I think we're going to be okay. I'm pretty sure of that. Especially when we think about this, that it's currently estimated that everything we know technically right now will represent 1% of technology in the year 2050. Now, the year 2050 is about 35 years away. That's not a long time. In 35 years, I'll be 89. Yeah. But, yeah, that's a scary thing when we think about it, right? So we grow up with it, we're into it, you know, we use technology all the time, we carry it around in our pocket. But now they're telling us that, wow, you haven't seen anything yet. This thing's going to explode in the next 35 years to such a point where if you stop learning now, in 2050, you would know 1% of technology. That's crazy, right? So, of course, we're not going to stop learning now. We're going to continue, right? And that's what this course is all about. So that's why I like to open with that quote. And I just found that fact. I think it was in IT World Canada. It just came out this spring. And I read that and I said, wow, that's amazing. Because you know, this stuff is changing quickly. But I didn't know it was changing that quickly. Okay, so the normal stuff that you would see in the registrar's calendar website. This is an MIS course. You know, computers and computer networks are here to stay. You're in business, so you should take this course. All of this stuff, right? And all of that is true. You know, it really is. Another thing that's true is that how many people here are not in business as a major? Not in business. 3, 4. What do you mean?
Computer science.
Always get a couple.
Chemistry.
Computer science.
Got 2.
Nutrition.
Nutrition. Good. My daughter's in nutrition too. Great field to be in. Computer science. Okay. So the computer science people are sitting there saying, wow, this guy's really old. But maybe he just came from Stephen Howard's class because he's older than I am. And Dave LeBlanc's a little bit younger than me. But I used to work over there. I used to work for IT and computer science. And funny story. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I taught computer science at Holland College. So, yeah, we're going to have fun together. And it's a good course for computer science people to take because as we'll see as we go through the course, there's a big disconnect right now between business and IT called the gap, right? And there's great minds out there trying to think of how they can close this gap and get the two sides talking to one another. And here we have 2 computer science majors in the room. So this is going to be fun. Real fun. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so as I was saying, the reason why I asked that question was that if you're a business major, this will be, out of the 40 courses you take in your degree, the only course that you will take in IT. Think about that for a minute. Let that sink into the gray matter. Wow. And you're going to be graduating in a couple of years' time. You're going to be sitting in front of an employer, and they'll say, how many IT courses did you take? 1. Really? Is that enough? I don't think so. Right? I'm thinking no. Right? Now, before you head for the door and start filling out an application for St. of X, settle down. You're okay. You're in a good place. We're here to help you. Now, we realize that our curriculum is not full of information systems courses, but the university, through the CS and IT group, offers what's called IT courses for those in other faculties. And those IT courses are great. You know, there's web programming, there's database, there's all kinds of interesting courses that you can take as electives. And on top of that are other business courses. Use technology. Like if you look at operations management, for example, Gary Evans, he's all over technology, right? He uses Excel and does a great job. And if you look at some other courses like stats or, you know, finance or, you know, even Tim's course, Business 495, you know, the expectation is there that you use technology. So we have it, but it's kind of integrated into our courses. So, but, you know, the transcript that you get is only going to, for most people anyway, will only have one course on it. So yeah, it's what we have. So also in the course outline then, I did mention the textbook, yes, and it is current, right? 2014. So it was put together last year in 2013 and published in 2014, and we're using it. And we're fortunate to have it up to date. And there's great learning in that book, great cases that we'll go over. And I think you'll benefit from it. Also, the software that we talked about. Software, the two main pieces of software that we're going to use then is Excel and Access. You know, if there's any written questions or things like that that you have to pass in, of course, you're going to have to use Word. There's some case creations that we're going to do, but I can't even tell you what software we're going to use for that, because you're going to surprise me. It'll be something strange and wonderful, I'm sure. Yes. So software, that'll be the main thing, and you know that I put in there that, you know, you can use the computers in the Robertson Library. In fact, you can even borrow laptops from the library, maybe to do those 2 database assignments, right? So that's an option. Okay, yeah, the course Moodle, mentioned that. So we're going to use Moodle for everything, right? And we know what our motto is. Moodle is our friend. There we go, see, you learned already. So how do we get out of this course with a good mark? Well, the marks are distributed, individual projects, 6 of them, 30%. Case studies, 2 of those, worth 25, and 3 tests worth 45, for a total of 100. Now, the secret to passing this course and getting an 88 is very easy. You just have to show up. Amazing. It's amazing how much you get just from showing up. Because if you're not here, you miss out on, you know, the things that I might show you in class. Like, here's your assignment for this week, and it's due Saturday. And I know people are struggling, so, you know, I'll go through it and I'll say, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And if you're not here, you're at home banging your head against the wall, you know, and getting nowhere. So, you know, show up if you can. It's a wonderful thing to be present. And of course, you know, we do make sure that you have lots of time to do the assignments, and they'll be specified on Moodle when they're due, and late submissions will not be accepted. That may sound harsh, but hear me out. Think of it. Sitting beside somebody right now, right? And they put in 6-7 hours in that assignment, and you got it, you know, and they got it in just before the deadline. And they're saying, well, I worked hard on that and I got it in. And they're sitting beside you and you're saying to them, guess what? I didn't do mine. I got 3 days to do mine. They say, what? How'd you get that? Right? So it's not fair, right? It's not fair if you have different rules, different times. People kind of get frustrated saying, well, why should I kill myself? I'll just get an extra 3 days. No, I'm not saying that assignments are never accepted late. What I'm saying is generally assignments are due and the due date is posted and you pass them in. Now, of course, there's going to be stuff that happens, right? Like you got in a car accident, or your dog got lost and you had to go find your dog, and your laptop ate your dog. And, no, your dog ate your laptop. Yes. And that's life, right? And you had to go home. Maybe you live in Nova Scotia. You had to go home and you didn't take your laptop with you. Like, that's okay, right? That's good. As long as I hear something, yes.
Will laptops be able to eat dogs in 2050?
I'm sure it will. There'll be a drone laptop. A drone will come out of the sky, just like a big eagle, right? And it will pick up my little pug, because I have pugs. I have 2 of them. And they'll be gone. Jeez, what a weird thing to think about. But yeah, 2050, it's going to be all different, man. It's really going to be crazy. Yeah, so I hope you're okay with that. I really hope you're okay with that. And I hope you communicate to me. Like, send me an email. I know the assignment's due Saturday, but I got to go back to Nova Scotia on the weekend. I don't think I'm going to have time to do the assignment. Can you cut me some slack? And I'll say, sure. Why? Why? Because when the person sitting beside you comes to me and complains, I'll say, that person emailed me, they had a valid reason. Don't feel like, slighted in any way. So as long as I have a reason, I'm okay. Okay, so individual projects. Yes, there's 6 of those. And they'll be split between Excel and Access. You'll be doing things in Excel that you never thought possible. You'll be taking tens of thousands of lines of data, and at the click of 3 buttons, you'll have summarized tables, and you'll have no idea how you got them. And then we'll have to go back and explain how that happened. In our first assignment, you're going to have just that. You're going to have rows and rows of data, and we're going to turn that data into useful information without you having to enter one formula. Because you're probably sitting there thinking, oh, Excel, I got to know something about formulas, I got to be good in math, right? Forget that. You just have to know what buttons to press. And you're gonna produce some pretty good information. And you'll be able to take that to your stats professor and say, look at this. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so, and then same thing with database, right? We're going to do some weird and wonderful stuff in that as well. Speaking of weird and wonderful, our case study creations. Right? That's what we're going to call it. That's what I called it last term, first summer session. And what a gong show that was. Did I say that? Gong show. Yeah. It was a bit of a gong show, I'm telling you the truth. Like, nothing runs smooth the first time, right? I gave them this assignment and I said, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to read this case about Levi Strauss, selling their jeans in Walmart, and then answer the 5 questions, and then put it in a piece of software that it can't be PowerPoint, it can't be Prezi. It's got to be something like a movie. Make me a movie. And people just went crazy. Like I had people that took time off work. Some of the students were working. They took time off work and they spent like 2 whole days. And they bought this software. And they went, ooh, way off in Hollywood on me. And it wasn't meant to be that at all. So, knowing what I know now, I'm going to help you through that. I'm going to guide you through that creativity process where it won't be that difficult for you, and it'll be fun. Because we can all read a case study and answer the questions, right? But I think it's better if we learn to present our ideas in a different way, because that's what employers are looking for. They're looking for people who can think creatively. You know, they can get a couple of paragraphs from anyone, but yours will stand out, right? And the last thing this world needs is another PowerPoint slideshow. Believe me, we don't need that. So, and tests. Yes, that's what we're calling them, tests. And there'll be 3 of them. And they'll be online. And they'll be through Moodle. And then you will sign into Moodle and you will do your test. And they'll be timed. So let's say there's 40 questions, you might have 30 minutes. So you'll have just enough time to answer the questions. See, that's the great thing about online tests, right? Even if you have Bill Gates sitting beside you and your book open, he's probably not going to help you, because the factor of time is really going to impact you. You'll answer the first 10 questions really well, because Bill will help you, right? But after that, you look at the time, you say, whoa, we better get going here, Bill. And yeah. Now, that's not to penalize you, that's just to make sure that you've kept up on the reading, you've come to class, and if you've done that, then these questions will be, sure, I know the answer to that, bang, there you go. You'll be answering 3 or 4 in a minute. And you'll be done lots of time. You'll have time left on the clock. So you don't have enough time to look every question up on Google or in your book, right? So we do hope that some of it sinks in, and there'll be fair questions. You know, there won't be stupid questions like, you know, on page 29, what did Billy Bob say? Like, what? Now it's just being ridiculous, right? So we won't try to do that. Okay, so student engagement. Now I had to think of a word that was like the word attendance, because we're running an online course, and I didn't want to type this document twice. So I had it all typed up, and I said, attendance, wait a minute now. The online students can't be here. They're not supposed to be here. They can be here if they want to, but they're not supposed to. So anyway, I had to think up a word. That's my new word, engagement. I like it. Student engagement. Those students who engage with the course material on a regular basis tend to do better overall. Amazing. So that means, engagement means for you, it means showing up, it means reading, it means listening, it means doing, it means bouncing ideas off each other. And for our online students, they'll be able to do the same thing through discussion forums and through chats with me and, you know, that kind of stuff. So it'll all be good for them as well. Okay, and then we get down into the academic honesty and the policies that are laid out by the university, and this is pretty standard on every course outline. You'll see these. And student needs. We also have some very good help in that area through our Webster Center, and by all means, feel free to call them and you know, from time to time you may need some help in tutoring and different things like that. So that's what they're there for. Okay, so back to the top. Any questions? Anything at all?
The test will be in like multiple choice style or like assistance on test.
Most of it will be multiple choice. Traditionally, it's tended to be multiple choice, yes. Yeah. There may be a fill in the blanks, but it's usually a multiple choice type test, yeah. And it'll be on probably 3-4 chapters at a time, right? Because we're going to have 3 of them. We're just going to split the course kind of in 3 sections, and when we finish one section, that'll be it. We won't be testing on that anymore.
And it will be like immediate feedback, or
Yeah.
it will be some time.
Yeah, you'll get your mark right away. Yeah. Mhm.
For the online book, do you just buy it at the library or at the bookstore, or get an access book?
Yeah, you can buy the book. I understand through the bookstore. You can also buy it online, and because I know for my other ebook, they did have a way of purchasing it through the bookstore, which is good because it gives you that flexibility where, you know, some people don't have a credit card and some people don't want to use a credit card to buy the book. You just go to the bookstore, do the deal in debit or cash, and away you go. Yeah. Yeah, so that's it there. And you know, you can get another thing you can do too. You can do a free trial, right? And I should have mentioned that if you want to do a free trial, you can read the first chapter through the ebook and see how you get along. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you won't like it. So you don't have to buy it to start the free trial. So that's good.
The third link that you showed, it's the same textbook, but just like free, in free format. Website for textbook, companion website.
Yeah, companion website. Yeah. What this is things that they didn't put in the book. Other things that may be helpful, right? Like under chapter resources. Like some of the things that we will talk about in class. Like the learning track modules. So you see, when these come up, they look like pages in a book, but they're not in your book. They're kind of like extra pages that they could have printed, but they decided not to. In fact, in previous versions, they used to print these and have them at the end of every chapter. They just took them out, put them online. Yeah. Anything else? Anybody? Any other pressing questions? Let's look at the schedule then. So in addition to giving you the course outline then, it's all well and good, but you know, the question remains, how is this all going to happen in such a short period of time? How could I possibly learn all this wonderful stuff? And that's why I did up the schedule, to again, give you an idea of what we'll be covering when and what we're doing kind of every week. So if we look at this week, what we're doing is course introduction, and the individual project for you is to review the course outline and purchase any resources you need to get started. And you can review Tech Plugin T2, which is on Excel Basics. So, you know, that's kind of what you should be doing this week. So if you're not familiar with Excel, or it's been a while since you used it, I'll show you in a minute where that tutorial is, but it would help to go in and just refresh and say, okay, yeah, I know that, I don't know this, I know that, and you're ready to go. So what this course is not a course that will teach you how to use Excel and Access. We assume that you're okay with Excel. Might not be okay with Access. We might have to slow down on that one. But you're going to be using the software to solve business problems. The focus is not on learning the software. The focus is going to be on solving the business problem. And we could use anything for that, right? We just happen to pick these pieces of software. So in the next week, we're going to be looking at chapters 1 and 2, as I said, and we're going to be doing project 1. And project 1 is problem solving using Excel. So the focus is going to be on solving a problem. And of course, there's going to be help, right? There's going to be help in class, and there's going to be help by looking at plug-in T3. Because if you look at plug-in T3, they'll give you a little bit more of Excel. Say, okay, you know, this is a little bit more help here. And then, you know, you have 2 weeks to work on that. So it'll be assigned next week, and then you'll have until the end of the following week to work on it. And we'll talk about it a couple times in class, between when it's assigned and when it's due. And as we go through, you see that the course is broken up into 3 sections: Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Oh, 4 sections. Part 4. 3 tests and 4 sections. Yes, I squeezed this in at the end. And at the end, we're going to be looking at this kind of stuff here. We're going to be looking at systems development, and the chapters, I should say, on systems development. This is where you're actually going to create something with software. You're going to have an application that does something, and it's going to be pretty neat. And you know, that's not a 2014 thing. You might say, "Whoa, you know, we're going way out there on the sharp edge." No. Go all the way back to 1978. 1978, the business students used to take a course called Computer Science 101. And in Computer Science 101, what they used to do was get you to write a program in BASIC, using what's called the basic programming language. And every business student took that course for years, and then it just disappeared. And here we are, 2014. And should we know how to develop software? Well, yeah. Why should a business student know how to develop software? Well, then you'll know what kind of an effort it is, because you're the one that's going to be writing the check and signing it. And do you know what you're buying? Do you know what you're paying for? Do you know how much effort it is to write a piece of software? Not until you actually do it. Do you appreciate it? So that's why. Not because we're trying to make programmers out of everyone. If we were trying to do that, we would bring back Computer Science 101. But what we're trying to do is give you a small insight into what's that world like. Right? We've got 2 people here that know what that world is like. But we want to make sure all 52 people know what that world is like. And that's the intent. Remember when I took Computer Science 101, one of the final projects near Christmas was to create a program that will print out a Christmas tree using asterisks. I'll show you what my Christmas tree looked like. My Christmas tree was asterisks, right? But it kind of looked like this. My tree was upside down. At that time, 1978, my professor said to me, "Mr. Murray, your Christmas tree is upside down." I said, no, you get the paper the wrong way, man. Just turn it. No, your Christmas tree is upside down. You're going to get some marks, but you're not going to get full marks. I said, okay, that's really as good as I could do. But it started from there. I just got to start somewhere. And here I was a business student, and I could see no reason why I had to write a program to draw a Christmas tree. But it opened that door, right? It opened that door. And it actually sparked my interest in this whole field. That's really where it started. Upside down Christmas tree. Who would know? Right? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about something more important than me. Yes, me. Okay, I can be explained in one page. There it is, one page, there's me. Oh yeah, and there's my number. And I will answer the phone most of the time. So if you need to get a hold of me, email, phone, text, I'm good. Twitter, Moodle, I don't know, Skyhook, anything at all. So I'm currently community college instructor at Holland College, so I teach there during the day. Funny story, today was orientation at the college, right? Same as it is everywhere else this week. And I had on my Holland College Hurricanes golf shirt. It also happened to be black. I have a lot of shirts that are black. Quick slimming. Yes, I know. And before I come out here, I said, geez, I better change my shirt. So now I'm a UPI Panther, right? So Hurricane by day, Panther by night. That's my story.
How long have you been at home?
I've been at Holland College since 1988. So I'm heading into my 27th year. I taught computer programming for 18 years down there. Before that, I was a programmer at Air Canada. It was my job to make sure the plane stayed in the air. No, actually, I wrote real silly little programs that calculated financial data, right? All the heady stuff was left up to the real wizards that work at Bombardier. Yes. And Boeing. Yes, so I did work for Air Canada. And like I say, it all started there. I took Computer Science 101. I said, this is great. I want to learn more about this. So I left after 2 years of business here at UPEI, and I went to Holland College, and I learned more about programming. I took a 2-year programming course, and then I went to work for Air Canada. And then I got a chance to come back here. So when I came back here, the job was open at the college, and they were looking for someone to teach computer programming. And I said, that'd be fun. Maybe I should try that. So I did. And then I realized that, well, in order to get paid in this world, they want you to have a degree, like paid well. So I had half a degree and a diploma. So I said, well, I better go back. So I went back and I finished my degree, Bachelor of Business Administration in 1996, and that's 8 years after I started working at the college. So I didn't have to have a degree to teach, because they were more interested in the fact that I was returning from industry and actually had been a computer programmer. But the pay, piece of paper gets you the pay, right? Learn that right quick. I was working beside a guy in Air Canada who had a history degree. Jeez, he was making 10 grand more than I was. We're doing the same work. What's that all about? So, it's no secret. And then I went on to take some postgraduate courses and training, and I'm still a student. Yeah. I'm working on my doctorate in business administration through Athabasca University. And started that in 2010. And I'm presently doing my research. I've done all the courses, and that's all done. And I'm just working on my research. Amazing, isn't it? So I'm a student, and you're a student. We're buds. We got something in common, right? We can hang out together. He wants to hang out.
No, I'm just saying, it's kind of weird because, like, the path I'm taking right now is, like, eerily similar to yours. I did 2 years at Holland.
Yeah,
Got my program.
you did.
Took a year off, like,
Right on.
I was doing computer science, but
Yeah.
I switched to business after I found out that the 2+2 program is actually 2+4.
Yeah.
So I switched to business.
Yeah, it's a better deal going 2+2.
I
Yeah.
don't know about that doctorate business
No, I wasn't convinced either, man. No, really. I wasn't convinced. I stopped here in 2002, and I said, if I never see a book again, I'll be happy. Like, don't ever ask me to study anything again. Like, I know everything, right? I know what I need to know. I'm good. And then I turned 50. What a slap in the face that was. What do you mean I'm 50? I can't be 50, right? And I said, well, I'm not going to be sitting here someday wishing I had done something. So I went back to school. And that's how I ended up in the DBA program. So you're right, we don't plan this stuff. It just kind of happens, right? And that's what it did for me anyway. It just happened. And I get a call from Canada Revenue Agency every year when I fill out my tax return. They'll say, "Oh, wait a minute. You work for Holland College. You work for UPI. You got T4s from both places, and you're reporting tuition. You're lying." And I know I'm not lying. They don't believe me every year. So, yeah, I know it's a little bit weird, but we can hang out together still. I'm okay with that. So what do I do in the off time? Well, I also run a consulting business, and I take on projects as if I'm not busy enough already, right? I do other things. So I haven't been only teaching since 1988. I took time off. I went to work for a company in Halifax for a year. Went to work for Revenue Canada for 6 months. I do projects, all kinds of stuff on the go. So, if I was only teaching for the last 26 years, I wouldn't have much to talk about with you. But it's all those other things that I do besides teaching, right? That keeps me into the technology, keeps me going and learning new things, and yeah. So I've been out here at UPI since 1997. So I finished my degree in 96, and I started teaching the next year. Funny story, before Tim comes in. Yeah, they told me, I had like 39 credits, right? They said, you're going to need one more credit to graduate, you need 40. And I said, yeah, I know that. He said, well, you didn't take computer science, 121 or something like that. And I said, come on. Like, I was a programmer at Air Canada, I teach computer programming. Can you just give me credit for that? No, you have to take another course. And I said, so I have to pay and take another course. You just won't give me that credit. No. I said, so there's no test I can write? No. He said, okay, guess what? I'm going to take that course, and I'm going to be back here next year to teach it. And the person at the registration office just laughed and said, yeah, right, we get guys like you through here all the time. Go away. And I said, oh, I'm going to teach that course next term. So I took the course, passed the course, and I was back next term teaching it. And here I am, still here. So I just did it to prove a point. But
That woman, she was there when you came in.
oh yeah, she was there. I said, I'm back. It's me. I'm teaching that course. She laughed. Yeah. But yeah, it's a strange life for sure. So yeah, just before we pack up then, because Tim's coming in at 5 o'clock today. That T2 I mentioned about, it's there, right? And what does a tech plugin look like? Well, it has lecture slides, and it also has a PDF document. And the PDF document will walk you through some of the basics of Excel, right? And it'll ask you to open up these spreadsheets here, because that's what these files are. These are Excel files, right? So you'll read through that, and it will say, okay, now we want you to open up the music player data file. You open it up, you do something to it. Good. So you step your way through, and that's kind of like your homework for this week, right? Step your way through and make sure that your Excel is a little bit solid so you're ready to go next week. Okay, so we'll leave it at that for today then. And we'll see you back here next Tuesday.